TCRS and the Ashes. Everybody's popping in all at once now. Just realised I haven't got enough lights on in here. It's a little bit of a dimmer day because we still have storm hanging around, which is awesome. I love it with the storms. Hey Paulie and Joshua. Seems like you're all staying up late and awake over there, everywhere. Anyway, yeah, so we've got this satellite L650. It's a bit of an old machine, but they're still perfectly good. And it apparently did not survive last night's storm, the one where I lost power, and, well, pretty much everybody lost power. But at least I didn't lose any equipment. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, it's a customer laptop. Not mine. I'll put the hard drive in first. First thing I do, get this drive out. So yeah, apparently, well, I've tested it, and it seems to boot. It's running, the CPU's running, it's generating heat, but it's not showing anything on display. And when I connect up the external display cable, it's still nothing, so it could be a write-off, but I thought I'd check just in case I can see something obvious. Personally, I consider it quite strange that the display would go of all things. Normally I'd expect just the power to drop out. Just finished fixing your Doppler radar today. Oh good, and you didn't fry your brains, so that's good. We're about to get the storm, snow and ice tonight. Yeah, that's going to be a different kind of storm to what I've got, eh? I've only really dealt with sleet storms, you know, where it's sort of like halfway between rain and halfway between snow. We did get hail yesterday, but it wasn't much. It was like pea-sized hail. Very small. But it's not usual for us to see hail, even at this time of the year, in summer. Oh, there's popcorn in there. I just noticed. At least I think it's popcorn. Are you popcorn? You're popcorn. Yep. Yeah. Focus is not... Oh, that's popcorn. I wonder if the laptop was running that hot, it cooked its own popcorn. Now I'm watching my security cameras at the moment because I'm expecting someone to turn up to pick up their phones. I was only meant to have one job this morning, but due to the storm last night, I woke up to a whole bunch of messages and I just lost that screw. Oh no, whatever will I do? I've lost one screw out of the laptop, it's doomed. Oh well, good thing I got a million spares for these ones. Hey Greg and Q's. Q's, yeah, this is storm damage from last night. Ah, Greg, shame about that. I reckon it was probably recoverable, that drive, Greg, to a degree. You know, just needed a bit of time and a bit of care. But as long as, I guess, they've handed over to supposed data recovery place, you watch, they probably won't do anything much more than DD rescue anyway. There's a lot of data recovery places that have very fancy websites and fancy text on their websites, and all they end up doing half the time is just using DD rescue or maybe something worse out of Windows. Genuine data recovery people with their own clean air rooms and stuff like that, they're pretty far and few between. For some reason the screw doesn't want to come out, so we use the big fat magnet. There we go. Alright, I think I've got everything. Alright. Q's, I was lucky I was able to record it because the laptop itself was still on and I could see it was still going, but I couldn't see my Open Broadcaster window because it was on the external display, and the external display had switched off because obviously it didn't have any power. What's going on here? Normally these pop out easy. There we go. So I just took the assumption, in all honesty. But unfortunately, yeah, sometimes these strips have screws on the back of them, but this one is not one of those ones. It's just lodged in there junk. Yeah, so I took the assumption that it would still be recording, but unfortunately the USB hub that the audio receiver is on had lost power, so that's why I lost all the audio there. To be honest, I was tempted to just end the video with the editing when I lost the power. I thought it was a more dramatic ending to the video. Ah, itchy nose. Why does this happen whenever I'm doing videos? I'll try not stifle my sneeze if I've got to have a sneeze, because I see some poor chap over in the UK tried to stifle his sneeze and tore his throat. His pharynx or whatever they call it. Okay, I've worked on this before because I know that's my Captain tape. Client tried allowing Windows 7 to fix itself. Oh lordy. Yeah. Yeah, when the Windows sits there, I mean, if your drive's physically fine, then, you know, go ahead with it, but when it's a failing drive, it's a perfect way to ruin your chances. Okay, that one there. I'm fiddling around here because I've got to get this cable out without tearing it. There we go. What else? Oh, that one, of course, under the Captain tape. Let's see if I can spot anything. The display connector looks fine. As I say, it's unusual that it would take out the display. Maybe it was coincidence, I don't know. Oh yeah, this is my Captain tape there to seal the cooling. Well, we'll take the board out and give it an inspection under the microscope. I don't see us really having much choice. What do you think about what's going on with the guy that created Cydia about putting Tim Cook cues? I don't even know anything about that. There you go, shows how much I pay attention. I was spending too much time last night also watching ZRX tank out. So I bought in at about 193 and I see now it's down about 160 something. Hopefully it'll come back up. Not that I put a lot in it. But it was like, it was doing so well and then it crashed out. I thought, no. What else? Oh, these goddamn modems. Okay, I shouldn't be swearing so much. I probably could put a test screen on it, but I want to check at least to see at first whether I'm dealing with a shorted out part. I had a client who allowed a scam artist convince her he was from Microsoft and let him log into a laptop, password lock into. Oh, great. Yeah, it's we get a lot of that over here too. Indian scammers as well. It seems sometimes you just can't stop people from falling for that. There's a couple of iffy looking things here. So let's have a look. Finally get some time under the microscope. It's been a while. Switch. Okay. Yeah, that just looks like normal age-related corrosion. Some really dodgy looking red goop. Actually, I'm just going to do looks like a fingerprint there. That's probably mine. I don't know what's happened to the microscope, but like I said, just not getting focus as much anymore. Let's see if you guys... I mean, you guys can get perfect focus because... yeah, I'll just tweak these eyepieces down. Oh wow, that's a huge variation. Okay, you're just going to have to persist with me here. And naturally I'm holding on to the talking knob. Oh man, I'm blind in this eye. Come on, Paul, wind it back. Ha, that's better. And... there you go. Alright, that's much better. I can actually see now. That looks interesting. It's got... don't imagine that's got anything to do though with the... that's really got nothing to do with... oh wow, I haven't seen these things much. RAM. Ah, piece of dust. Thought maybe it was a crack in the MOSFET. It's pretty nasty looking bits and pieces here, but all of it looks more like age-related corrosion. Yeah, sadly, Lisa, you're right. Doesn't stop them. They just go find themselves another victim. There's no shortage of potential victims out there. I did get my GTX 550 today, 1050 rather, not 550, that's only like 5 generations old. I haven't had a chance to put it into my machine yet. I may have to steal my wife's computer because it's got a mini ITX board in it, which is what I want. And the processor's not too bad. But the big thing it's got is that it has a full width PCIe socket on it, so I can drop the card straight in. Whereas all my other ones have only got the 1X PCIe, so I'd have to get a external card adapter thing, which I have ordered. That just lets you run the GPU cards off a 1X socket. That's a piece of metal. There's a lot of trash down here. Let's have a look over in the CPU, GPU area. Probably should look there first, but we've got plenty of corpses. Back out a bit. This is where the 0.5 Barlow would be nice. have to check that fuse, but that there, oh, nasty hairy stuff. But they're all for the socket. You look like you've had a bad day. Really bad day. Oh, what happened there? In fact, yeah, you've well and truly lost your guts. Yep, I think we found our fault. Now, here comes the fun bit. Okay, so it's R479. That's been struck. And look at that. There wasn't anything there, but it looks like it might have arced across. It's been thunderstruck. Sorry, Australian heritage coming out there. Okay, R479, victim of lightning strike probably. Now I've got to find this board and find out what you were. Your Hunstar 94V. Is that really your board code? Quite probably. Hunstar 94V. Look at that. I didn't even have to use my brains. I just had to look around. It's pretty awesome when you can do that. Well, I'm guessing it was something like that, Greg. I'm surprised I don't have this one around. If any of you have already got it handy, then feel free to direct me. What was this? L650. Looks like I got a fair few here. I'm just checking to see if this is it. No, I gotta remember what that part code was. Because that sort of damage, I imagine that's probably taken out a few other things. R479. Ooh, we may get lucky. Alright, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, so we have R479, which looks like a pull down to ground, 10K, and it's on VGA temp file. Interesting. It's kind of big for it to take. Well, it does look like it's probably going to ground. Just kind of curious as to why that one of all of them would be taken out. It's a little weird. The other possibility is that I've actually got the wrong board. I suppose one way to check is to go for something that I know the value of or whatever. Let's see. Let's pick a chip that we know of. There we go. U301 is the... So, U301. No match. Maybe we don't have the right board. Station 240, that's okay, but in the end I still loaded up the board file I've loaded up. The schematic is a Toshiba L645, L650. So, yeah. But thank you for that. I'm going to see what else is on VGA temp file and see if I can trace that. Q46 is on it. Right. System shutdown. Oh, okay, so if that fails, that would pull this MOSFET. So here we go. If this was say shorter, but that would typically go open circuit. And who knows? Like I said, my real concern is that goes straight into U20B, whatever U20B is. It could be the PCH. Is that PCH? I don't know one about on this board. And if that's the case, it's probably vaporized that chip, but we'll give it a shot. So we'll have a look for this Q46. I don't believe I have a board view for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have a board view for that one. Alright, Q46. We've got a very slim, vague chance of finding this MOSFET transistor. I mean, it's hard enough for me to even find that is each time. Yeah, I doubt you're that. What bothers me here is most of the parts have 4-digit codes on them. Except for obviously that resistor. Q3000 series. I have a feeling we're not going to find this transistor in a hurry. I have a feeling I'm not looking at the right schematic. We found the dud part, but that's all we found. Oh, sorry, I realised that. There we go. I'll try load up another one. same thing. Ah. Yeah, lots of L650s with L650 with blown video. No board view. What's that part? R479. Ah, that's completely useless. Does it have DDR3? It's a good question. I think it is. Yep, it's DDR3. Well, I guess we'll look at getting that part off at least. It's interesting. I guess it's just 0603. Unfortunately, it's blown the damn numbers off. Let's see if that is ground. Okay. Let's pick a ground point. Oops. Well, that's not ground. That is. So the voltage is coming high through here somewhere. This is obviously going to be open circuit, 99% likely. Yep. So that's ground. So whatever it was arced out through there. Check your email. All right. Funnily enough, I just looked at that one from the ashes. I mean, maybe I didn't search it right, but I couldn't see R479 on that one. Unless I typed it in wrong. Oh yeah, I've got it now. And that's on the LAN. That makes more sense. So they had it plugged into the internet and it absolutely shot its guts. What's this? 75%? I love the way they've done their values on this schematic. Yeah, it is at 75 ohms. I'm just going to switch this into the window so you can all see. Okay. Oops, you can't see. There we go. Okay, so it looks like this one here is the one that may have been taken out. And g6-2113, the reason why I think it's the LAN is because we've got all this LAN stuff here. So what are you connected to? You are going... Okay, you're decoupled from ground. But then why would this take out the whole board? So yeah, it looks like it's come through the LAN 479, 471. Where's 471? There. Everyone want to take a bet that... Well, it makes sense, that's right next to the LAN connector there. I knew the other one didn't seem to make sense. Wait, we've got another blown one here. I just noticed that. We've got this one blown, and this one's also crapped itself, 480. That's funny, I didn't realize both of them were gone. So yeah, that was the one we originally found, and I've just accidentally found that one, which makes sense. That represents these two here. Oh, damn it, you can't see. So this is the new one we just found, which is R4780. Now with them blown open circuit, that shouldn't stop the PC from booting. So I'd say we've definitely blown something pretty serious. Yeah, the strike's gone through and taken out everything else. Come here. You can see them both side by side now. There and there, and there's your LAN connection. Yeah, which means their router's probably a bit toasty too. Or their hub. I think you can see a bit of damage there. And this area here, this is GPU. So just purely from proximity, it likely got ruined. At this point, I'm going to say I'm not even going to bother doing any more work on this. It's a goner. The best I can offer this person now is to get their data off the hard drive, and that's going to be interesting to see if the hard drive is even alive. Now 750, that's great. Yeah, not good. Well, it's booting, it's just not displaying anything. So even if that was shorting it, U667, pardon me. I don't even know where that chip is. Oh, there you are. Even if that was short and everything, it shouldn't be pulling down the graphics. Now, I'm going to just write this off. I've had a few other lightning strike machines like this, and it's a rabbit hole that ends with you being buried in the rabbit hole just like Watership Down. Yeah, that's my modem. Modem. Good God, multimeter. Yeah, just gonna write this off as an insurance. It's clearly struck by lightning, so they'll be able to get that. I just got to message the person. It's okay, we've got another laptop after this one to sort out. Well, yep. So that's it. That one's no point even putting that back together. I'll just put it into scrap heap probably, and then we get to the next one. At least it's DDR3. Be able to use that RAM, assuming it's not dead. Obviously, I'll have to. They're only 2 gigs, so we'll have to run them through memtest, but it's a possible. Go get that off the laptop. But the next one's actually a water damage one. Actually, I'll just check the data on that. In amongst this cesspit of trash, I have. There we go. Really need to organise my room again. Oh, you lousy so-and-so. Oops. I need to be monitoring my security cameras to make sure I don't miss people turning up. There is a doorbell, and it is perfectly loud, but once I get into this room, in combination with my hearing issues, I never hear it. Alright. Let's get this connected up. Yep. Let's see. Let's plug it into a spare USB port. You are going to drain some serious power, aren't you? I am using ZoneMinder for the cameras, yeah. Spinning up the disc. Come on. You can do it. Oh dear. I may be lucky. It might be just because it doesn't have any power. I'll go try it in another machine. It took a bit long. Actually, it's a modified version of ZoneMinder. I had to change it for my own purposes. Okay, plug this into another machine. This can feel it spin up, so that's a good thing. I know you guys can't see this. And the drive looks intact. Get 3 petitions, so I think we're safe. Good. Usually with lightning damage, if the drive has been hit, you wouldn't get a sort of the activity like that. It would just be dead. Alright, let's get and have a look at this new one. Yeah, the modifications I made to ZoneMinder, well, the first one was to take the H.264 mod fork that someone had produced, but it was generating MP4 files, and I wanted to use MKV, which thankfully you can do. There's just a bunch of other little mods that I made to it so that I can click on the videos that we're recording and watch them even though they're still being generated. I was trying to think, I should really pull this apart before I apply power. That would be irresponsible of me to just power it up and hope that things are okay. It doesn't look like it's had water on it though. Yeah, normally if it's been sitting in water, you'd expect particularly these stickers here to start degenerating, but that one seems opaque, perfectly okay. Still, not going to take that chance. I mean, there's some sort of spotty corrosion there, but that really looks like just, again, normal age-related corrosion. Just through daily humidity. Okay, you're gonna, you little blighters. Sometimes these little Wi-Fi things are fine to leave in, other times you have to take them out. Those ones you got to take out. Okay, let's go. You were loose. You're okay. You're the DVD. Come on. Yeah, when I want to get those bezels off deliberately, it is a major undertaking. But when I'm just trying to pull it out of the... There we go. Pull it out of the computer. Oh no, bezel's happy to come off. Never what you want. Why didn't you come out? Get the feeling this machine's been dropped. Come on. You've been... That's a crack up. There's a marking on the chassis there for a screw. There isn't actually a screw hole there. Hopefully the hinges are okay in this thing. I don't want to have to do a rebuild. You... Okay, that looks good. Once again, we get to decide, is this a top release or a bottom release? This one's very tight. Wow. I genuinely cannot tell if this is a top or bottom release, this one. The keyboard's already dodgy anyway. But I don't want to have to break what I don't need to break. Starting to think it's a bottom release. Seriously, I don't know which one this is. It's just so tight that I can't get any way of clearance. We'll stick a plastic spudger in the side here, and hopefully if we go fishing around up here, one way or another it's going to give us a pop out. Sounded convincing. Fairly sure I can feel it coming up, but it gets trapped. It's definitely lifting up the bloody HPs. This is a check the backup by the batteries. Yeah, this is a, I can get that back. What was this one? This is the g6-2113. So it's a g6-2113 TU. But these ones usually just, it's got a keyboard screw here, which has already been removed. Oh, you're right, okay. Get the idea, you're feeling abandoned. This one here might have a release here if I push through here. What's embarrassing is that this isn't the first one I've done, so I don't know why I'm having dramas with it. Unless it's specific to this particular model. Oh no, it's going to make me forced to... Let's see if I've got a moderately blunt object like this. Maybe a piece of wood. I don't see how on earth they consider that to be a release. G6-2113. Time to Google. Go to HP's website rather than YouTube, because YouTube spends 6 hours telling you all sorts of things except what you need. Oh, wow, they really do. While supporting an... Okay. So, I'm going to make it so you guys can see it too. So, geez, noisy traffic much? While supporting the notebook, press gently on the exposed area of the keyboard in the keyboard release cutout to partially release the top cover. By the memory, let me check. I'll just check that. Yeah, that one's out, Greg. Yeah, that's the one I thought it would be. Alright, so the... Give us your feedback. How about no? No thanks. I just noticed the colours are all backwards there. There we go. Yeah. Let's try that again then, according to HP. Seriously, that's ridiculous. There's no way you can realistically pop that out without doing some rather catastrophic damage. They're dreaming. Get the feeling they haven't actually tried to do that themselves. Let's see if I can get a better view. Well, I know what we can do. Is, okay, it comes up from the top, according to this. Yep, alright, top release. Don't ever venture into MS communities for meaningful answers. Yeah, I can't say I've ever gone in there. I love it when you get the ones that are marked as solved, and it's like, these aren't solved. It's like, you're dreaming. Everybody's dreaming. This is still really... Okay, we'll go for the weak spot that we do have, which is over here. Hey, success. Once again, sometimes just knowing the way something should come out can make it come out. Still not making the... The next step is working out whether the tabs come out of the chassis, the main chassis, or whether they're coming out of the keyboard, because that determines which way you leave this damn thing. Okay, let's see if we can get in under here. We'll try. You definitely want to hinge up from there. You guys are not flexible. Great, so the wooden shaft it is. I've got a screw there. Honestly, this is embarrassing. So, look at this. Paul can't even get a keyboard off. What are we even watching YouTube videos of him for? Oh yeah, solved. AP solved. Yeah, never explains how. Yep. Yeah, plenty of those everywhere, aren't there? So thank you so much. You really helped the world by telling us how. Yeah. Trouble with these nylon spudges is they're just not. They're not thin enough. Dear God, don't damage it, Paul. Try from the other side. But yeah, has anyone noticed the pattern? Like whenever I say, well, screens are my favorite, aren't they? It's like, here, we're going to change this laptop screen. It should be easy. And then I'll find out it's something god-awful, and that's going to stab me if I'm not careful. So if I impale myself and start bleeding everywhere, then hopefully it should get my ratings up. Yeah, it looks like it was just reluctant. It's reluctant for whatever reason over there, because it's working fine here. Knew it was tight. Yep, that's good, Paul. Touch the screen. There we go. Got it. Get the endoscope out. Yep. In the end of all this, we'll probably find there's nothing wrong with the laptop. There's no water damage. There's just... It was just the power brick decided to die. But we have to go through... There is definitely a lot of corrosion on here. I mean, this is just... it's really... But again, it all looks like old corrosion. Nothing new. Some nasty stuff there. I mean, these screw heads are corroded away. Oh well, it's the fun of dealing with PC laptops. It's always a new challenge on many days. Come on. I'm trying to get this out without slicing myself across that open metal. Are you a screw hole or you? No, you're just corroded. Lisa, the ends of these nylon spudges, when they're new, like this one here, they're quite thin. I mean, I can get into this like chassis lip here, but it just wasn't thin enough to get into that keyboard. Just isn't my day for it at the moment. Oh well. That's why I always like my metal spudger. If the metal spudger won't go in, then I really know it's a very difficult situation. Then you've pretty much got to fall back to the X-Acto knife, the number 11 or something like that, which is when you start risking great personal injury or damage to the equipment. Something's holding down there. Not sure what that is yet. Could be a screw that I've overlooked, but I'm fairly sure I got them all out. Need a bigger workbench now. I've noticed a certain number of designs, they do tend to latch internally in here. So it feels like a screw, but it's just some sort of a little plastic clip. There we go. Yeah, it's just another latch. Just needed a bit of convincing. We do have a screw there though, hidden on black plastic. Why? And it's a different length too, that's a bonus. Dead credit card? Yeah, actually that can work really nice, yeah. They seem to have more rigidity. Well, surprisingly, so far as HP goes, this isn't too bad to open up. I mean, alright, so we've got corrosion all over the CPU area here. But again, age related by the looks of it. Sort of thing you see on a sunken ship or something. I guess since I've got it apart this far, I may as well... I can see a lot of corrosion here that's going to cause trouble. In this section here, that, at least I think it's corrosion, or is it dust? Maybe it's just dust. But that was the keyboard on-off switch connector area. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's really gotten in there. It's looking pretty clean. Spider's egg nest, that's great. This here, it's spider silk. Usually these ones I think are from huntsman spiders. Have a look at that. Yeah, we could change the topic from fixing computers to let's inspect crazy critters. It's pretty amazing, like the quality of the weave they have in these things. Let's get ourselves a couple of tweezers in. Yeah, these egg bags, they carry them around with them for a while until they find a place to put them. And then they put them down, and a couple of days or weeks later they burst out with a few thousand spiders. I suppose for some people that's nightmarish, but as long as it's not happening over your face, it's not a problem. And check that, that's just amazing. That reminds me a lot of if you've ever had FedEx bags and that Tefal material, or I think it's called, and it has this sort of like white fibrous texture. Yeah, that's a spider's egg bag. Amazing stuff. Yeah, Godzilla would be interesting. Maybe not here. I really don't want that chap stomping around, causing trouble. Okay, let's have a look at this corrosion. Ah, sorry guys. When you missed out the spider thing. Yeah. Yeah, you see all this? I see it a fair bit on machines this age. It's sort of like just some sort of condensating corrosion. That does look a bit sus there, actually. Yeah, okay, no, we've definitely got... Here we go. But again, this is old. So it could be coincidental. Yeah, look at that. It could end up here too. Often what can happen is you have these build-ups of corrosion and issues, but it doesn't become a problem until the humidity really picks up and we have a big rainstorm, and then all of a sudden this stuff becomes conductive. So we'll give it a clean up. Flux should pretty much resolve that. Yeah, it must have taken ages for the spider to spin that. I'm going to have to take off the fan because I don't want to have that melting the fan blades. Let's see, you're going to be one of the pain in the ass. You're going to force me to take this off, aren't you? You are. I love it. They've got screws, they'll be under there. Why do they do this? I've got to take it off take off the whole damn thing now. It's a pain. And naturally I do it backwards because I'm a rebel. Yeah, I'm not really. I'm pretty damn conformist. If I see a sign that says do not walk on the grass, well, I don't walk on the grass because that's just who I am. But again, these days, not walking on the grass probably makes you a bit of a rebel. Because you're like, oh no, he's actually conforming, how rebellious of him. Great, that comes off. Go. Well, I suppose the CPU was due to get a bit of a rework on its, what do you call it? On its paste. Yeah, ISO toothbrush and then probably flux and heat. I want to touch up those connectors. And for some reason I can't find my damn toothbrush. It's one of those things that I don't really use away from the workbench, and yet somehow I managed to not have it on the workbench. Let's put this away. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, J-tag connectors, yeah. If there was a J-tag connector on there, Lewis would have flown over from New York already, pushed me out of the seat, and hit it with the soldering iron. So, ergo, by the fact that Lewis isn't here shoving me off this chair, I'm going to assume there's no J-tag on there. Oh, come on, man. Where's my toothbrush? Don't tell me I've been using it to brush my teeth. Seriously? If I go get my toothbrush that I really do use to brush my teeth, anyone want to put bets on... Oh, whoop. We back? Yep, we're back. Alright, well, that was a customer. They're having to go back to their iPhone 4S. That one's got a smash screen and a dead lock button. But during that process, I found my toothbrush. So... I'll have to check to see what the connector, the cable's like too. Hello, I missed some message here. Ah, TCRS. Flux and touch up all those joints. Thank you, TCRS. See, you're in the rich camp now, eh? Mr. Famous, fixing all the MacBooks. Okay, is that trace gone? I think that trace is gone. Or is it? Certainly doesn't look good. I would say I want to run a wire there. And yeah, it's looking like that corrosion actually goes all the way up. Okay, we've had one of these on video before. Looks like we'll do another one. So we need to find out, what is this? This is C62. The board is, yeah, Dare 33 MB6E. So I've got to find this board. (6TU) motherboard schematic. Looks like there's plenty of them at least. I probably do have this one in my collection. Say, sicky. This is a model R33. So revision E. So above that. So we go revision 33 or 33. DAOR 33. 33. MB6EO is 6E. Schematic, schematic, schematic. Where are you, schematic? Search. I don't suppose anyone's got that schematic. So Quanta R33, I wonder if I've got that. Yeah, it looks like I do. I don't know why I don't just search my own databases first. Okay. Okay, C62. You really need another screen to do all this on. Oops, too far. No, not you. Not you, not you, not... No. There we go. Power bottom connector. Very interesting. Bottom, hey? It's a 100 nanofarad, 10 volt. Connects to the lid. So it goes to ground and then lid EC. And lid EC is pin 3. Alright, so we're just going to have to run that little line. It shouldn't really be making... It shouldn't really be affecting any power up there. It will maybe produce some level of instability on the switch, but it shouldn't prevent anything coming up. And what about C59? It'll be the same story. We'll see how it behaves. I'm going to just let that clean up and then try power it up. Even though that trace looks good, overlay. Even though that trace looks tolerable at that point, there's a break there. What concerns me is what's going to be underneath this connector. But again, still doesn't convince me that it wouldn't be powering up. I might put it back in its chassis and see if we can bring it up. I've got to put the damn fan on for this. Seriously? Or maybe I can just take it off. Is it going to let me do that? Because at least if I take the fan assembly off, I mean, it's not going to be... it's obviously not going to cool it for a good while, but it should give me enough time. Yeah, it needed a clean anyway. And there's copper corrosion all over that. That's delicious. Yum, yum, yum. There's a rubbish bin. Like I said, we don't want to run this for long, we just want to see if it will boot. And the way we do that is we get our USB stick with the little light on it. So it needs to be put back in the chassis. It's annoying. That's fine. Put that power brick somewhere now. I said that power brick no, there it is. I know I keep saying it, but I need to get a power board closer up here or something. This whole leaning over business is not good. I've got to keep an eye on the security camera. I already missed one person almost then. And as soon as I've done this, I have to do that iPhone 4S. It needs the screen and the lock button. Okay, things are becoming a real mess here now. Well, we've got light showing up here, so you can see that's recognized. Oh, let's have a look at what pin we have to pull down. Let's see, power lead. So pin. Pin 4 to ground. And I seem to have lost chat. Where is chat gone? Oh, there it is. Yeah, sadly my desk very rapidly degenerates into just a great... Whoops. Damage my optics doing that. Very rapidly degenerates into a cesspit. Which one was 4? Okay, so it's ground and this one. I should have left that fan in. Doesn't look like we're booting. Check see if we've got some voltage on that pin 4. We've got 3.4, 3.3, so that's right. That's interesting. These two, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6 are both ground. It would seem this schematic is not strictly the same. Pin 1 should be 3.3. Yeah, that's not good news. We got 0 on pin 1. We should have 3.3. It looks like everything's backwards. Am I wrong? It would appear this maybe is... What? That makes no sense. That makes no sense here. I don't think the schematic quite matches. So now I'm going to have to, well, since the schematic doesn't quite match, I'll just have to bring in the top deck. Just stab myself. Yeah, I should really change my video sort of general title from what I fix daily to more like what I injure daily. I'm a little bit of a klutz, it seems. I think a little bit might be an understatement too. And we've got power. The schematic does not match. System fan, oh no. Alright, we know it boots. Nearest flat surface syndrome, NFSS. That sounds very appropriate. I think I'm going to have to use that one. I suffer from nearest flat surface syndrome. Well, I guess we'll clean up those traces and pretty much leave it at that. It seems like it will work. My guess is that corrosion might have been just enough to upset it. And then we've cleaned up the trash, and now it seems alright. Chances are this probably would have gone back to working in a few days on its own. Now what the problem is because we can't trust the schematic, we have to try and see if we can find our way around. The easiest option is to technically remove the FPC connector, but then we're probably likely to damage it during that process. Yeah, leakage current, something like that. Yep, agreed. Okay, so it's that pin there. Like I said, I know just by the nature of it that is underneath here, wherever it's going, that is going to be corroding up. So I'll run a trace from there to there. Who knows if it's even relevant, but we'll do it anyway. So I'm trying to think of the maybe route out here. That's a bit over the top, but yeah. Yeah, it could be leakage current like that. I agree. Or should I try and get this FPC off? Maybe I'll give it a go. I've got more of these if I really mess it up. The downside is I do have a massive metal piece sitting on the other side. So it's gonna, that metal piece is gonna absorb a lot of heat. We want 9mm. I reckon. Asking for trouble, Paul. Yeah, right, fine. Clean up all these. Maybe if I can get enough flux under there and warmed up, it will help a bit, just to clear up things. This here needs a bit of help too. Yeah, it's pretty hard to get the board views for these. And half the time they don't even match properly. That connector melts real fast. Good thing I'm not going to try and remove it. I can barely get the flux activated. I'm going to run that trace wire. Wonder if I can do it with 32 gauge. .32 gauge. Where are you, 32 gauge? There you are. This is probably too big. Yep, that's monstrously too big. What about you? No, you're a joke. You're fatter than the parts. You're just way too thin. Looks like I need wire. It's funny, every time I cut off a piece of wire for these jobs, I put it up on the microscope stand and yet somehow I lose it again and again. Yeah, that should about do the trick. Alright. Gonna be long enough? Yep. Forgotten which pin it was meant to go on. That's some pretty disgusting solder connections there. The corrosion is preventing a lot of the flux can't get through even that corrosion. Ah, damn it. I was trying to make it perfect. I wanted it sitting down closer. Leave it alone, Paul. Leave it alone. Lisa, for this, yeah, sort of like something 3840. Make sure I don't break my wire here. Just get rid of all the flux so that when I put the formal coating down, it doesn't. You can see the corrosion. It sort of eats away at these connectors. It's changing it off that into copper oxide and things like that. Perfection is the enemy. Yeah, you know, and yet I watch other people's videos when they're doing this sort of thing, and I'm like, leave it alone, don't touch it, man. It's perfect, it's fine. And what do I go do on my videos? Exactly the same thing. Right, let's get some conformal coating. What if I can't get a blob of it to go in? I mean, it's not really required to go in under that connector a bit. There we go, that's what I was after. Yeah, it's a good mess. Perfect. see, where's my UV lamp? There it is. Alright, leave that there for a little bit. What I'm probably going to do now is I'm running out of time for this 4S. So as soon as that's queued up, I will get started on this. So our lock button's all gone on that. So I'll go grab 4S screen and come back for that. Alright, we're back. And that's probably been enough time for my UV. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay. That's good. Ugly, but functional. Yeah. We're going to have to put this one aside. I need to get this 4S sorted out. I wonder if I should just tell this person they need a new keyboard too. Yeah. Oh, found them. I do need a paper towel, and I have run out. I know I had a pack of Ah, there we go. I knew I had a pack of 500 napkins around here, so napkins will do the task. How did I used to use these? I don't know, it doesn't feel familiar. Alright. Looks like we've got a bit of banding going on there with the light. Not sure what's going on there. Who's the responsible party? No, not you. I don't know why the banding's so aggressive here. No, it's just weird, that's all. That's why it's really weird. It's not coming from that. It's only the one light left. Let's try that. And it's still present. Well, I don't recall it being there before. I know it does happen because I constantly have to set the power line frequency update. Yeah, it's just choosing to ignore me. Weird. I'm very sorry, everybody. You're gonna have to put up with that. Can't even seem to get it to AC adapter from left, or the laptop's disconnected. It's definitely from the lights, but I'm just not sure which set of lights. I'm wasting time, I know. No, I don't have a fan in here, I wish. Actually, speaking of which, though, you do make a good point. I do have light in here, that is... No. Fluorescence, maybe? Although they're not fluorescents, they're LEDs. Still there. Bloody hell. Alright, well... Screw it. Have to get on with the job. Doesn't stop it being annoying for you guys. Yeah, in this case, I think it's coming up from the it's the Logitech 922 picking it up. I'm just not sure where from. Normally, the software it comes with manages to get rid of it. Like as soon as I select 50 Hertz for the god damn it, my hair's falling out everywhere. 7. Yeah, as soon as I select the correct frequency for the line frequency, it usually just gets rid of it, but something happened in the last 15 minutes and it popped up. Oh wow, the battery wasn't even bonded in there. That's fantastic. You actually probably be one of my own faults. 2.6. Come on. 2.7. Special 1.2. 1.3. Oh, it's stuck down. This was not done by me. Where it was, put half pieces of foam on the... Oh great, it wasn't even connected. That's probably why it was not working. Doesn't matter, the person wants a new screen on it anyway because this one is broken. Yeah, I switched it over to automatic focus for a second and I think it just realigned. You guys should have complained about that earlier and I could have fixed it. The one problem is I've noticed that it's 3.6. It's very hard for me to see the finer focus on this small screen that I've got beside me. Something like a 4K screen would probably do a good job. But I don't trust the autofocus so much on this camera. It tends to hunt a little bit too much. So what I do is I let it grab a focus and then I lock it out. The trouble is usually it goes for the bench top rather than just slightly above it. Okay. Spudger. The beloved corner one. I have to take these completely out these days because I'm just don't have the talent anymore, the feel, the knack to get them back in. I can usually leave these ones just mostly unscrewed. Okay, this has probably had a prior repair, so I'm guessing this is going to come right off. Well, I knew it had a prior repair because the... Let's see. Man, I know, yep. Usually, most of the ones that I do now, the tabs off the side of the home button, they're broken. But that one is actually intact. Okay, I don't think I need you. Flick you right off. And it seems like that flicker's almost gone now too. The scum that you get off these things. It's probably Rebel scum. Oh, I'll be back. Alright, sorry about that. So we got the earpiece speaker, but we don't have a camera guide. You get, I was about to say, I should do the trick. Better put the home button back on. Come on. Okay, looks like we got that. And we managed to get the 3 side holders all in. It's kind of sad with the iPhone 4, 4S's that they take the longest, but you get the least amount of money for them in terms of labour. what you can do about that. So are there any Australians here that are signed up to CoinSpot.com.au? And if so, how long did it take before they gave you your approval? Because I noticed on their website they said up to 2 weeks before approval, and that's killing me. It's only been about 5 days. And I'm like, come on, look at all the trades I'm missing out on. I'm already with places like, I think, Coinbase or whatever, but they only let me trade in the big things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. But I think most of the money seems to, at least most of the chance of making money, big money, is with all the little stuff. It's riskier, obviously. I guess that's why it's more money. Okay, Q's. Thanks. Yes, I'll definitely get myself a cup of coffee. Especially after last night. Tried 3 times to get coffee. Eventually I got it at around about 9 o'clock at night. I just realised I got to get this done and out of here in the next 30 minutes. Actually more like 20 minutes. Because the bank closes. And I got to get down there with the take for the day. Okay, it's got the little rubber protector on that. You're not sitting quite right. I find usually putting the SIM tray back in helps, keeps the alignment. Alright, 2.5. I don't know if these are the true values of the screw lengths, but they are what I've memorized. And so that is what I'll use. Ah. Ow. Come on. Get back on there. Alright, dramatic effect there because I forgot to do... God damn, I can't believe I did this. I forgot to do the damned lock button. This is the one big downside of when you get interrupted during your job. Particularly I find with the 4S's, is that you're scooting through, you get distracted and you forget that you had other purposes. In this case, I need to change the switch on the... Now that's such a pain in the butt, because it's definitely something you want to do normally with the screen out. Great. Alright, we'll just have to do it with the screen in. The reason why I don't like doing it with the screen is because you end up over flexing these cables just a wee bit too much. Okay. Time for some surgery. Where's my knife? It's actually pretty messed up, that button. Okay, in here somewhere I have quite a bunch of them. Somewhere. Oh. Yeah, you're kidding me. I have a small container around here that I keep all... Nope, not you either. I think I need to take a day off, clean up this complete and utter trash pit, because it's now getting to the point where it legitimately is impacting on my attempts to get work done. Come on, where on earth? Right up here. Right up there the whole time. You're banned from Tech Nibbles. What did you do? I don't know Tech Nibbles from a bar of soap, but what on earth did you do? You bastard. As per usual for the internet, when I'm not doing a live stream, this happens all very smoothly. Usually I just peel off and place, and that's it. But no, I'm doing a live stream, can't have that. I could have hot air off one. Okay. It doesn't feel very good. Oh, ashes. Okay, I thought, to be honest, I thought that's what everyone else did. Yeah. The biggest, like I said, this is why I prefer to, I reckon these screws are actually backwards. You watch, I'm going to pull it out and find they're the same anyway. Yeah, they're the same. You watch now, the damn screen's going to be damaged. At least I got that lined up now. Yeah, that's working. Yeah, I always thought that's what most people were doing, but yeah, well, I could have hot air it, but yeah. Alright. As I said, it's a much nicer process if you do it with your screen out. Because then you don't have to fight against that cable. Oh dear, what's this? Nope. Not important. Wrong screw. There we go. That's the one we got. And as I said, usually that goes a lot smoother, that whole slice off and replace thing. But because it's a live stream, that is utterly unacceptable and therefore must become tedious to the point where people wonder, why on earth do you even bother doing it that way? I used to do that using the desktop Just one of those little LED desktop magnifiers. It was enough to get an idea, or you could feel when you've gotten between the mylar, the captain or whatever you want to call it, and the body of it. It may not last as long as like if you did a hot air replacement, because when you break that seal, probably bits of dust get can't speak. Dust will get in there, and it may grind at the domes a little bit, but I think overall it's not a major issue. Unfortunately, you can't do that, or I've never had any luck doing it with an iPhone 5. I should try now that I've got the microscope though. But I know when I was doing it before, every time I tried with an iPhone 5, it was just miserable failure at the end of it. And as it is, I find I can just hot air the iPhone 5 once quick enough. Okay, I'm just going to test to see if the screen's functional on this, given that we had to bend those flexes a little aggressively. I don't know whether we've got no battery there or not. Alright, bring out the power supply. Crikey, there's a bunch of noise going on around here. Yeah, forklift. Okay, screen looks good. Forklifts, noisy suckers. We need a compression pad for there. You naturally had nothing. So I can find something that will fit. We'll have to do. Yeah, live stream repairs always take longer. They really, really do. And you make a lot more mistakes. I think it requires a lot of practice and getting that part of your brain to develop to handle the concurrent processes that you're doing. Edited videos, not so much. Yeah, they're a bit easier. I mean, they still require a bit, but at least you do have the time to sit back and pause if you need to. Or, I mean, you do in live stream too. Although you feel like you're boring people when you do that. So you develop a strong admiration for people like Lewis, who can perform very well under live streams, even when he's drunk. Hopefully I haven't forgotten things here. At least I know I definitely have the earpiece mesh and I have the home button in. When it comes to 4 and 4S's, that's everything. Alright, I think we're done. Now, I don't like this adhesive is no good, so I'll just get that out. Not keen on the batteries bouncing around. I'll just have to go and get a replacement adhesive set. What have we got for time? 49. Okay, I'm going to have to quickly go direct my wife to go do something. Namely go down to the bank, so I'll be back in a second. Got to scoot and leave because the bank closes in 10 minutes and I've got to go put the cash in, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you everyone for dropping in. We know the 4S works, the lock button works, so we'll leave it at that, and maybe in the next stream I'll catch up on what's happened with the other machines. So I'll see you all later. Until then, take care.